Most early stage entrepreneurs and salespeople get stuck below 10K months, not because they lack talent, but because they're operating at 30 to 40% of their true capacity. I know because 2 years ago, I was there. And so in this video, what I'm going to be doing is breaking down a three-step framework that anyone on planet Earth can implement. And that took me from working as a W-2 employee in car sales 2 years ago, making 8 to 10K a month, making 150 cold calls, unfulfilled in my work, oftentimes so hungover from drugs and alcohol that I'd literally go into the bathroom, hide away in the stall, lay it down on a roll of toilet paper on the tile floor and take naps just to make it through the day. To now, where I've scaled two different businesses, one of which in direct sales, network marketing. I scaled a sales team north of 1,200 people. It took me to 11 different countries, had 5 keynote speaking engagements across 2 years worth of time with north of 8,000 people in attendance. And I also put together a project called Level 99, helping people inside of sales and entrepreneurial endeavors rewire their operating system, implement structure day to day so that they can scale themselves, then be able to scale their brand and their business. And I did $22,500 in the first 15 days on that offer. Now, I don't want to take any more time out of you guys' day. I want to get straight into this structure. So I'm actually going to share my screen and break down a few things with you guys so that you can take notes if you want to, or so that it's just visually more appealing and easier for you to understand. So the first thing that it comes down to is just structure altogether, optimizing your routine and your environment. It's not some complicated procedure. Most people have no day-to-day operations to begin with. Now, to manifest what it is that you want into your life starting now, you have to operate like the version of yourself that has those things already. So I would like to think if you guys are a high level entrepreneur down the road, high level salesperson down the road, they probably wake up at the same time every day. They probably have a few things at least that they do every single day to get their morning rolling. They probably have routine. They probably time block. There's a saying that goes like this: millionaires plan in hours, billionaires plan in minutes. Average people live day to day. Most people, even watching this video, although you might be doing okay, you likely can't even tell me by hour what you're doing the rest of the day. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but my point remains the same. Just using Google Calendar makes my life way easier. My entire morning routine is blocked out to start my day. I don't touch my phone for the first 45 minutes. I get 6 pieces of content for reels across YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, etc., all done before 7:30 and before I've even touched my phone and went and started addressing issues, concerns, problems that inevitably you're going to face when you're in sales and or running a business and a team, right? And so what does my morning routine look like more dialed in? To give you guys an idea, I wake up at the same time every day, 6 a.m. As soon as that alarm clock goes off, I pray, I go straight to the bathroom. And the reason that I go to the bathroom is to shock my body with cold water. That is going to stimulate a little bit more energy inside of my body right away. I usually do my little skincare routine and that wakes me up. The next thing I'm doing, and this is where things start to really take off, is go and get some electrolytes. Now, everybody says that they go and drink water, but water doesn't necessarily have the minerals that are going to help replenish your hydration. Your brain is like a sponge, and over the course of the night, you lose a lot of the nutrients because your brain has a membrane that squeezes on whatever is left, using it for fuel to keep you surviving throughout the night. That's why you wake up and you feel foggy and you can't think clearly. So I go put some electrolytes inside of a ice cold glass of water and I slam that. I recommend either Santa Cruz Paleo. You can use the brand Element. Those are both great. The next thing that I do immediately is go outside. I learned this from a mentor of mine that made 30 million before 30. And he always taught me about gratitude. If you can't be grateful for where you are now, you likely will never be. And so for me, I always have preached to myself that if you're not willing to speak where you're going into existence, you'll never get there. So it's constant repetition for me. And I go outside and I just say something simple like, I am so happy and grateful now that I have successfully enrolled 1,000 people in the next year into my coaching service. That way I'm helping them with optimization, productivity, so that they can perform better day to day and hit their goals, thus yielding me more abundance into my own life. That simple. But every day I'm constantly repeating this saying. It may sound corny until it works. I went from laying in the bathroom stall 2 years ago to now every day feels like GTA, man, straight up. And so right after that, I do simple breath work. Someone that I follow very closely in the organic health field. His name is Gary Brecka. Maybe you guys have seen him, but he talks about doing Wim Hof breathing. So I literally just take 10 massive deep breaths. Here's why. Once again, when you wake up, you don't have enough oxygen in your brain to create positive emotion. So when you wake up in the morning, you are likely foggy, groggy, right? So go get hydration. And then I go out and I get some fresh air. And when I take 10 deep breaths, I'm talking massive, like 10 of those things. You're going to flood your brain with oxygen. You're going to be able to think more clearly as soon as you do this. It's very simple to do, but also very simple not to do. As soon as I get done with that, I go right back into my room. I still have yet to touch my phone. This is when I'm knock out at least one page of a positive book. I'm usually going to take that thing that I read in the book. For me, Think and Grow Rich is the easiest thing to read in the world. I've read it like 5 times and it gets better every time. And I try to implement that day to day. It's just one positive note to start my day. How you start your day is how you're going to finish your day, right? So I like to start it on a positive frequency. The next thing that I do is get into meditation. Meditation is going to be what helps you regulate your emotions. If you're leading a sales team, if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, you are in a high stress environment. You are getting paid based off value you provide and your ability to solve problems, put fires out. So you're going to wake up to a million messages, follow up, all this from your clients, from your employees, from your team members, and they're likely going to be throwing all their baggage at you. What a meditation does is allow you to accept and address these things, then respond with clarity versus feeling attacked by everything that inevitably is going to come to you when you're in these different professions, right? So for me, I use either the app Brightmind or Calm. They're great. You can go through a 30-day pretty much tutorial where it teaches you about it. But I can promise you, if you actually do it, you will immediately start to feel clearer throughout your day and be able to handle these different problems with a lot more control. After that, I go and I get straight into eating something. For me, it's just simple protein. I do 4 eggs, sprinkle a little cheese on there, some pink Himalayan sea salt, and I eat that before I've touched my phone. All of this is done before I've touched my phone. Why? Because I'm stacking wins before I ever see a single loss. It sounds so simple, but I guarantee you, you will be operating like a high-speed ninja just because of the morning routine. And we're still in the first step. So after I've done that, I go outside and I go for a walk. Now, for me, I do a lot of content. If you guys haven't checked it out already on my YouTube channel, you can follow Noah Ortiz Official. And right there, you're going to see a content playbook that I use every single day. This is part of my morning routine. Content is the power for me to build my business. It's advertising, it's free marketing. You need to be doing more of it. So for me, what I have done is put together a USP document, basically my sales proposition, and I feed that into ChatGPT. I likely get ideas from TikTok and other social media platforms, not brain rot scrolling, but following people that I know are in similar niche. And I take those ideas, I reframe them, and I put them into a Google Doc, which I would call a content capsule. And before I go to bed each night, I already know what 6 pieces of content I'm going to post. This may sound tedious, but get it done and you'll move along with your day knowing that you have done the hardest part before you did anything else. So when I'm on that walk, still, before I've addressed any follow-up, any concerns, any issues from anyone else, I'm going to get done what I know I need to get done for me so I can progress my brand and business forward. This is where I'm going to do all 6 pieces of content on that walk. For me at this point, I've done so many that it usually takes me 20 to 30 minutes and I'm done. Once I've done that, I do all of the busy work, follow up, etc. Now I go to the gym. I'm still on do not disturb. My phone has a setting automatically to go on do not disturb at 9:30 p.m. and doesn't stop until 9 a.m. That gets me almost all the way through my workout at the gym, and that is how I do my morning routine. That is something that I guarantee you guys will transform the direction of your life alone. Now, Google Calendar, that's just what I use to program my daily habits into it. It's nice to see that I'm checking wins off inside of my calendar, even if it's simple things like just the morning routine. The second step is actually rewiring your operating system in your mind. Your mind is a GPS, and if you don't know where you're going, you can't get there. It's like if I asked you to drive to the nearest McDonald's outside of your state without typing it into a map, it sounds crazy. All you do is drive aimlessly in one direction. That's not that freaking efficient, right? So this is where you're going to learn how to program your supercomputer for future success. So the first thing you need to do is eliminate the negatives, the bad vices, the habits, the negative influences. This is what I would consider to be, I got a typo in here, but malware in your mind, right? This is going to be the things that are holding you back. Success is an elimination process in itself. If you can remove the malware from your mind, you will instantly feel better. You need to do an update on that sucker, and then you need to reprogram the search bar of your mind for future success. Here's an example. For me, if there was a search bar in my mind and I typed in the letter Z, it would pull up with Zillow. And it would already have the filters associated for Paradise Valley homes here in Scottsdale, where I'm looking at homes north of $4 or $5 million that have a pickleball court out back, that have multiple rooms, that have this big walk-in closet. I've programmed this so much into my mind that everything that I do day to day is going to follow in the actions that I take. And I'm going to get into this more as we go. But I want you guys to think of that search bar of your mind right now and ask yourself what's in it. Because a lot of times when you type in the letter L, It's limited thinking. When you type in, it's negativity. And you're programming your mind, and that's where a lot of times you don't take action in pursuit of your goals. You take action in relativity to where it is that you are now. So you need to reprogram that search bar for future success. Now, if I go back to the Google Doc, you guys are going to see here as the second bullet or the third bullet point that I speak heavily on the spiritual side of success. This is something that another one of my mentors has taught me a lot about, and it's the law of attraction. You build your belief based off of what you see, hear, and experience most often. And there's something called your RAS, or your reticular activating system, and this acts as a filter. You have the bottom portion of your brain, which is basically your subconscious. I want you to think about your neck as a funnel, and the bottom portion of your brain is your subconscious. It doesn't know the difference between real and fake, what you have now and what you don't. All that it knows is what you tell it most often. Whatever you speak yourself more into is what you're going to get more of, right? So if you're hanging around negative people, if you're speaking negative about yourself, I can't, I'm unlucky, I can't catch a break, you're literally just feeding your subconscious with more limited ability. And then what happens is your conscious, which controls your emotions and your actions day to day, follow in direct response. So what do you think you get more of? Exactly what you've programmed into it. So if you start to see, hear, and experience only things that you want down the road, aka your goals, your future, and that GPS destination, your mind doesn't know the difference between if you have it or you don't. And you're going to start to operate like that version of yourself that you already know you need to be. For me, that is why when I wake up in the morning, there is no lag. For me, I'm excited because I'm in pursuit of these goals and I don't even think about it consciously. My subconscious is now programmed to where that search bar says Lamborghini. It says freedom. It says 3 different homes: Colorado, Malibu, California, Scottsdale. I have all of it programmed. And I'm not there yet, but what happens is 2 years ago when I started programming it, you start to take direct actions to progress yourself towards these goals. Now, Monday and Saturday feel the same. Now I've been to 11 countries. Now I make 10K a week easy. You get what I'm saying? These are simple things that I guarantee you will start to help you along the way. Now, the last thing here is mentorship. This was how I learned all this, man. Most people, simply put, aren't willing to invest into their own rescue. You need accountability. You need a standard for excellence that you can abide by, and you need some skin in the game. Most people don't actually commit and invest themselves into anything, and that's why they don't do the level of work required to get the result. For me, I have always invested into mentorship, upwards of $50,000 in the last 2.5 years. I have 4 of them, in order so that I know if I don't do the things that they've told me to do after I invested into them, 1, I'm wasting my time, energy, effort, and money, and 2, I'm going to lose proximity with those people. You've likely heard you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. For me, I want all of those people to be further along than me. Right? That's going to elevate my circumstances and my well-being. It's going to elevate my mindset. It's going to elevate my bank account over time, my health, everything. So this is something that I do, is invest all the time into mentorship because I know it's going to yield me a greater ROI than anything else on planet Earth. It's the shortcut. They've done what you've done, or they've done what you're trying to do. And all you have to do is repeat the process. Do what they do, say what they say. You'll get what they got. I invested $3,000 for 1 hour of one of my mentor's calls a few months back. That 1 hour turned into $22,500 in the next 15 days on my own offer. Now I'm running 2 businesses at once. If you were to ask me if I had the time priority down, if I had the structure down, if I had the clarity in my mind and the focus to be able to run 2 different businesses, one of which has 1,200 people in a sales team internationally, and coach other people in sales and entrepreneurship to be successful in scaling themselves so that they can scale their brand and business, I would have told you you're crazy. But a lot can happen very quickly if you start operating like that person now. I want to touch on mentorship one more time. You guys have the opportunity to work with so many amazing people through social media and the internet today. It's never been easier to win. It doesn't have to be me. But you need to find somebody that has done what you want to do, that's vulnerable, that has some humility in their life that you can relate to, and buy into them no matter what the price, because the likely ROI is always going to be greater as long as you do the level of work required to get the result. Here is a saying that I'll give you guys. This is a little quote. If you're religious, you'll like this one a lot more. If not, you'll still get the idea. It's called the parable of the drowning man. Maybe you've heard it, maybe you've not. But a lot of times you guys are praying for help. You want help. You know you need guidance on building your mind, your body, your business, right? And it comes to us in ways that we don't always expect. Mentorship is usually that way, and it usually has a cost. Everything that you want in life, a better mind, a better body, better business results, has a price tag attached. It's sacrifice, it's energy, it's money, it's work, usually on yourself. And so how this parable goes is there's a preacher man sitting outside as a flood approaches his town. So the first day goes by, the water starts rising. A little canoe comes by. It's his neighbor. He says, "Sir, preacher man, would you like a ride? Would you like some help?" He said, "No, the Lord will save me." The water rises. Day two. It's getting higher. Now a rowboat comes by. Everybody else inside of the neighborhood's on the boat. "Preacher man, what are you doing? Are you getting on the boat?" "Nope, I have full faith the Lord will save me." Day three. The water's up to his neck. A helicopter comes by, drops the ladder. "Preacher man, this is your last chance. Are you coming?" "No, I have full faith the Lord will save me." He drowns. And then he gets to the gate of heaven and he asks the Lord, "Why didn't you save me?" And he says, "I sent you two boats and a helicopter." And the point in the ideology behind this is usually most people aren't willing to open their mind and invest into their own rescue. When you look to make an investment into yourself, aka mentorship, what I want you guys to think about the next time you feel uncomfortable in doing so, especially if you've never invested into yourself before, is your brain is a muscle just like the rest of them. So when you go to the gym, if you've never been, it's uncomfortable to begin with. And then as you work out, you tear your muscle fibers down, right? As long as you do it the right way, then you go and you eat what? Protein. That restores your muscle fibers and they grow, right? That's the idea, at least. Same thing with your mind. So when you are getting ready to do something you've never done, aka hit the gym, invest into yourself, your mind is designed more than any other muscle in your body for comfortability. It does not want you to press barriers. When you press that barrier and you make an investment into yourself, you're expanding your brain's muscle fibers. Then, as long as you're investing into something productive, like mentorship from someone that's already done what you're trying to do, that value, that knowledge, that experience is going to be poured back into your mind, and that's what's going to allow you to grow. You can't do the same thing every single day expecting a different result. Most people say that they're going to figure it out on their own, and they never do. For me, I've learned that the shortcut to success is mentorship, and I wouldn't be here without it. If you stuck with me this long, odds are you did get some value out of this video, and odds are you're someone that wants to take life to the next level as well. Now, inside of the Level 99 project that I mentioned before, just to wrap this up, I want to focus on building a community of tight-knit, committed individuals who want to do, be, and have more out of life and who understand the root to all success is personal development. There's something called the law of the lid that states you will never out-earn your own level of personal development. And you will come back down to the level of income if you do get rich quick, back down to the level of personal development that you currently hold. So for me, that is my root. That is what I build every single day more than anything else. And that's what we will do inside of the Level 99 project. If you're someone that wants to scale your brand and business, is focus on your mind, your body, your mental framework, rewiring that operating system, applying structure into your day to day, and focus on helping you hit your mental, your physical, and your professional goals. If you want more information, DM me on Instagram, Noah Ortiz Official. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this video. Like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys at the top. The bottom is way too crowded.